Okay, so welcome to the call, you guys. For those I may not have met, I am Kendall Boyd, and as you can see, I am in a hotel today. I am very happy with technology right now. So, for those that don't know, we're in California right now. His mom is really sick, so we are out here visiting her, and with the whole weird time change thing, I was thinking 8 o'clock tonight, our team call, and I forgot in California that 6 o'clock. So I almost had my alarms set wrong. So thank goodness I figured that out. But anyway, we are very excited that tonight we have a special guest. This is Emerald Ambassador. She is Vicki Flenniken, and I'm saying Flenniken right? Okay, perfect. I hate saying names wrong. So Vicki, I have watched for a while on Facebook and just kind of her journey with Plexus. And Vicki, you are just so upbeat and positive and spunky and cute. Like, I just love the way, you brand yourself on Facebook as that. And I had asked her, I guess about a month ago, to be a guest on our call. And funny thing is, we realized yesterday that she and I met in Kona. And we didn't realize it was each other that we were talking to until yesterday. And I was like, oh my gosh, we met in Kona and we talked for a while. So she's such a sweetheart. She's given me little snippets of her story. So I'm very excited you guys are about to hear it. So girl, you can just take it away.
All right. I know it was pretty funny. Like, the fact that we stood there waiting for our car to come out of valet and didn't really even know who we're talking to, because it's one thing to see people on Facebook, it's another to truly meet them in person. So perfect example of that. Like, I didn't know who she was. I was like, oh, you're an Emerald in Austin, cool. Yeah. Oh, I agreed to guest on your call. What? So anyway, kind of cool, kind of fun. Guys, I'm in College Station, Texas. It's where I am. And kind of here's a background, a little about me and how I even got started. I worked for a big box retailer for 21 years. I left them in May of 2014, and I was a store manager for them when I left. Worked 5.5 to 6 days a week, 10, 12-hour days. Christmas, anywhere from Thanksgiving to middle of January was insane. That was our schedule, and I loved it. I absolutely loved my job. But my older daughter was 9 when I left, and that Christmas of December 2013 was really rough because I was never home, and she was old enough to understand that Mama was never home. But it was one of those, Mama's got a job and this is what I do, and she understood that. But it just it was hard because, Mama, why do you have to go to work? Because I have to pay bills, and, Daddy needs me to go to work. So it was what it was. Husband and I decided that I was going to leave in May of 2014, so I did. And 2 weeks later, God certainly has a sense of humor. My husband and I received a phone call from a friend of a friend that there was a baby boy that was going to be born in August that needed a home. And we decided to adopt him. So in August 17th of 2014, Zachary was born. I had the privilege to be in the hospital when he was born, and we brought him home from the hospital. Super cool, super awesome. But I was 46 years old with a newborn baby. So needless to say, I was vomit tired. And that's what I say. Like, newborn babies, they're like cats. They eat, sleep, and poop in 2-hour shifts. And I was tired. I was not on Facebook, guys. I was too busy with my other job to worry about social media. Like, who cared about Facebook? Instagram, didn't even know what that was. And Snapchat, what? But I was home with a newborn. I was bored. So I stalked people through my husband's Facebook account. Like, I figured out how to log in as him, and just scrolled through his friends and what they were posting. And he had a friend from high school that was posting about Plexus, and she made a post one day about energy. And that piqued my interest. I was an over 40 mama, thought, you know what, that little midsection belly that you get was just one of those things. But energy was what I was looking for. And I'd never tried an energy drink, didn't have any interest in any of that, and was very interested in Plexus because it said natural and it said energy. I joined as an ambassador, having never tasted the product. I thought, you know what, it's $100. Yes, she offered to reimburse $34.95. So I was like, what the hey, what do I have to lose? And $100, my husband and I are very blessed, and we spend $100 on stupid stuff all the time. So I thought, I can try it for a month and see what I think. So I joined as an ambassador. And my sponsor was like, well, you have to be on Facebook if you're going to sell it. And I was like, girl, I haven't decided if I'm selling it or not. I'm just going to try it. And she goes, well, if you decide to sell, you have to be on Facebook. And I'm like, I don't have Facebook. And initially my thought was, if you don't know me, you really don't need to know what is going on in my life. Now, if you follow my Facebook page now, you'll know everything that's going on in my life because I know how to market, right? But anyway, so I was like, okay. So I joined Facebook about the same day I joined Plexus. Got my little, I started with Slim and Accelerator, took it for 3 days. I didn't think it was doing anything, and I actually quit taking it. Husband comes home on day 4. I'm passed out on the couch with a newborn who's 32 days old. And he goes, hey, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, really? I have a newborn here. What's wrong with you? And he's like, did you take that pink drink? I was like, no, wasn't working. And he said, well, it must have been doing something because you haven't been passed out on the couch the past 3 days. Oh, once again, I'm like vomit tired again. So I started taking it on day 5 and really, paid attention to what it was doing. In hindsight, I thought an energy drink, I was going to get this raging rush of energy. And when I didn't feel that or get that, I thought it wasn't working. So it's, really good so my takeaway in my personal business is make sure people understand what they're getting. It's not an energy rush. It's energy like this because you're not going up and down all day long. So anyway, started back on day 5 and started loving it, started dropping some weight. And of course, with a newborn, people are like, oh, Vicki, aren't you so tired? And I'm like, no, I actually feel really good. What? Why do you feel good? I'm like, oh, I'm taking this little pink drink. What is that? I don't know. How do I get some? Go to my website. 3 months in, I get a check for $1,600. And I'm like, what have I done? Oh, what is this? So really start to pay attention to the compensation plan, dig into the compensation plan and understand it. And I'm thinking, I could make a little business of this. How fun could this be? And really started focusing on the business and paying attention to reaching out to people who had liked and commented on Plexus posts that I was making that, of course, I copied from my sponsor because I didn't know what I was doing, right? And, in the end of April, I had a great blessing to be able to go Emerald. So I'd been with the company 19 months by then, and it was super cool and super fun. But that's how I got started. I had no intention of the business. I didn't even have Facebook when I got started. So that was it. That's it. And it's been super fun. It's very exciting to be able to work with, other men and women to really understand, what do they want, and then understand the excuses that you get, oh, I don't want to do this, or I don't want to do this, or I don't want to do this. Okay, let's work through that, because my past life as a store manager and coaching has really helped in the current life of working through excuses of, I don't have time, or, nobody wants to buy anything, So all the excuses that you hear are just excuses, and how do you work through them? So that's how I got started. And then Kendall asked me, just to maybe share some business tips with you. And here's one that I love sharing with people. My job that I left, I was a 6-digit figure earner. Okay. So I made 6 figures a year. So I ask you and I challenge you, are you in a job today that you have the potential to make 6 figures? And if the answer is no, then what does it matter if it's going to take you 2 years or 3 years or maybe 6 or maybe 10 to work your Plexus business if you know that the goal at the end of that tunnel is a 6-figure income and a free car and a free trip to Hawaii and all these other crazy perks that the company gives you, that if you work and work and work and work with your team and train your team and take responsibility for your team and own it, that you can make 6 figures. Because today, if you're not in a job that's possible, why would you walk away? Is it going to get hard? Hands down, okay? Any job is hard. Doesn't matter what job you have. Whether you're flipping burgers at McDonald's, whether you're working part-time at your children's school, It's all hard. You're all going to encounter people who are challenging. People are challenging naturally, okay? Ooh, people. But you're going to encounter that in any job. So when your Plexus business gets tough, don't walk away. Don't quit. Because the opportunity is there for every single person. Your timeline looks different. Everybody's timeline is going to look different. And it is so hard. We hear, don't be jealous, be excited for that person that just promoted. But it is hard, guys, when you're looking at someone who started after you and their business is growing. It's hard not to be jealous. I mean, let's just keep it real. It is hard. But you know what? Okay, be jealous for the moment and then get over it. And then reach out to them and go, okay, so what are you doing? And they're probably not doing anything that you haven't heard, even though there might be a couple of things, but just reach out to them for help and just say, hey, just talk me through, what are you doing? How do you, onboard a new ambassador who, A, wants to work the business, and how do you onboard a new ambassador who just wants to be a wholesale customer? Guys, you onboard them a little bit different. You don't onboard them the same, right? How do you onboard a new customer? How do you, how often do you follow up with your customers? Those are questions you should ask somebody who you look at their business and go, man, I want that. Then go ask what they're doing. And they may not give you anything new, but what you'll get from that conversation is excitement again. And that's, I can just be real and be honest. September sucked. It sucked for my business. It was terrible. Like Kendall was like, yeah. But you know what? I had some people on my team whose businesses grew. And I had to step back and look at that and go, okay, I need the same passion that they have. I have someone who started 3 months ago, and she added 8 people to her team this month in September. 8! She started 3 months ago. Where's my excitement that she had 3 months ago? Well, I lost it because I got all circled into, why won't these credit cards go through? It's so silly. Drive with a DR dot or DR or DRIVE. I got so wrapped up in stuff that I couldn't control that it made my business stop. And that was silly on my part, because I'm looking at her and she's like, oh my goodness, I had to call customer service to get her, to get her order to go through, and I got it to go through, and I'm so excited to have a new ambassador. Instead, I'm over here focused on how do you spell drive on your credit card statement. So, it's everybody has the same potential. And when something isn't working for you, reach out to someone that it is working for, because their excitement and enthusiasm, when it rubs off on you, it's like, okay, you know what? Get it. And I drew my line in the sand after Friday night closed. I took Saturday and Sunday, and I've had all sorts of fun. We had a birthday party today for my second one, and draw my line in the sand. Tomorrow's back at it. Power hour starting tomorrow. So that's kind of, my tip for you. And if you guys have questions, go right ahead, because I'm an open book. You can ask me anything you want.
Well, I do have a question. So you're 19 months that it took you to get to Emerald. Like, what do you feel like was your driving force, I guess, behind that? Because, I mean, we all know it's a different journey. Some, it's like 5 months. For me, it took 32 months. And the business is like this. So, like, what was it that you think focused you, kept you consistent, helped you pour into your team? Like, I don't know if that's easy to answer, but.
Well, it is. And I don't know if it's an anomaly for me or not. I don't know. But, and if you don't have a power partner, guys, you should have a power partner. Someone that you talk to every single day about Plexus, every single day. And you're going to talk kids and family and, stuff, but you're going to talk to them about Plexus. And my power partner was my level 1. And she joined me in January of 2015. So about 4 months after I started, she reached out to me and joined my team. And very quickly, and we'd known each other. We'd gone to church together for 6 years. So we'd known each other, but kind of didn't really know each other. Like, she had kids, 2 little kids, and I had 0. So it was like, oh, hey, at church, but we didn't have anything in common because we didn't have kids way back then. And when she joined my team, we just started talking every day, and we bounced ideas off each other. And we decided very quickly that, you know what, Jen and Celeste have Destination Diamond Dream Team page. We're going to be the Jen and Celeste of Plexus. And so we combined forces, and we put our team pages together. We post, alternating days on that team page, and we really worked it together. And so I don't even really consider her my level 1. I mean, she's my equal, right? I mean, who cares if they're a level 6? They're your equal. They're an ambassador with Plexus. Forget about the levels. And so she and I just really run together. We do 3-way calls together. We do Zooms together. We do everything together. And I think having that power partner and that accountability of when things are great, I can woohoo, and she woohoos me back. And when things are blech, I can vent to her, and she can go, all right, Vicki, suck it up, put your big girl panties on, just go deal with it. And then I have to go, well, I threw all those away, but okay, I got you. Let me move on. And so having a power partner I think, was a turning point of my business. And so now my goal is to get her to Emerald, hopefully by the end of the year.
Awesome. Well, and I think a big thing with a power partner, like you said, is talking every day. Like, even if neither of you are feeling it that day, like still somehow doing it. Because just talking to them, you're like, okay, I'm refocused. What do I need to do? And sometimes the other one's got to kind of slap you in the face and say, get back to work.
And, very rarely do you both have a bad day at the same time, right? And so, you're going to have bad days, because we do, in our jobs right now, you come home and vent to somebody at some point. So you're going to have a bad day. But having that power partner to listen and then go, all right, well, you can't control that, so move forward. What are you going to do? Ugh, you're right. Okay, thanks for listening. I got to go now, and it keeps you focused on what that long-term goal is. And if you don't have someone you're talking to every day, you're missing out. You need someone to talk to every single day about Plexus.
Yeah. Okay. So in your, you're growing your team, like over the time period that you did it, and you were personally trying to add level 1s. And I know you're still personally trying to add level 1s. But like, what do you feel like was the biggest way you reached out? Was it like cold messaging to all of your Facebook friends? Was it calling people? Was it doing, little sip and sees? Like, what was kind of your main thing that worked for you?
In April, I joined in September 2014. So in April of 2015, I got roped into a Go Gold challenge, and I was gold by then, but it was, do a Go Gold challenge. And I was like, okay, had never done one. And, like week 1, it's, hey, reach out to 5 people this week you've never talked to about Plexus. And I was like, what? And I'm an extrovert, but I'm not just going to cold message you of, hey. And so the first week I didn't even do it. I was like, nope, I just don't have any points in that section. And then of course my power partner's like, hey, I ended the challenge at 92 points. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I had like 53, And I'm competitive because, I was a store manager, right? So you play to win. It actually says that in the Bible, in my opinion. But anyway, so I was kind of irritated that her being my power partner, but yet she's my level 1, beat me. So I thought, okay, all right, Vicki, suck it up and go reach out to people. So, I started messaging people, hey, I don't know if you've noticed what I'm doing. My messages were probably totally awkward and stupid. I have a much better message now, and I'll gladly send it to you and you can share it with people. But, the message was probably totally awkward. But I started messaging people, and I sent them my before and after picture, because it was like, you see my picture, it's like, oh, face swollen, face not so swollen. So I had to be doing something. And so that's what I did. And then we did that in April. And then in May, June, and July, my business went through the roof because, of course, when you truly do income-producing activities, and in my opinion, watching videos is not income-producing activity. There is one activity that's income-producing: sending messages to people. That's it. The rest of it is personal growth, but it's not income-producing. And so, it was one of those, oh, look, I sent all these messages in April, and look at the business in May and June and July. Do you think there's a correlation? Snap. Yeah, there is. And so Aubrey and I just started, okay, well, I sent 5 more messages today. So this is in May, right? Because the challenge is over. And I'm like, you're still doing it? Well, yeah. I'm like, okay, well, if you're doing it, I'm going to do it too. And then I would send her, hey, I sent 8 messages today. What? Okay, well, I'm going to send 8. And so just challenging back and forth. And of course now, being 2 years in, yeah, you know what? I've gone through a lot of people on my Facebook friends list that I've talked to or messaged, and, the crickets, the ones that never respond back. Yeah, I'm still following up with them. but it's meeting new people. Like today, we had a birthday party in the backyard for my soon-to-be 8-year-old. And one of the little girls that came, her mom said, hey, is it okay if I hang out because I don't know you? Yeah, sure, hang out because I would too. Well, guess what? She's a medical student here at Texas A&M. And you know what she's studying? Immunology. I said, oh, awesome. And what is that? You know, what are you doing with that? She goes, oh, I'm studying how yeast in the gut affects diseases. And I said, girl, you're studying candida, aren't you? And she goes, you know about that? And I'm like, oh, you and I could sit here and have conversation all day long. I said, hey, are you on Facebook? She goes, yeah. I said, let's be friends because I'm a green and it sounds like you're a green. Guess what? You have to add new friends because 2 years into it, I've gone through a whole bunch of friends, but I constantly, when I find people, hey, are you on Facebook? Let's be Facebook friends so we can keep up with our kids in soccer, so we can keep up with our kids in whatever, you know. It's kind of awkward at first, and now it's like no big deal.
Yeah.
No big deal. So, yeah, now I message 5 people a day,
And
Monday through Friday.
You're still consistent. I know consistency for me is like, woo, you know.
Yeah, 5 people a day.
Awesome.
Except I can tell you September, yeah. Anyway, we're starting.
We're all recovering all over. Summer, but
yeah.
Okay, so new people then that you get in, I'm sure you're like everybody. You've got the wholesalers, and then you've got those who actually, you know, see the vision with this.
Right.
Okay, how do you get them started? What's your, I don't know.
On the ones that have the vision?
Now, how do you, I mean, yes, obviously plant that seed of the business in them, but when you have somebody that wants to pursue the business, I know a lot of people on my team are like, okay, I have these people, how do I get them working? So kind of what's worked for your team?
Okay, so the minute somebody says, oh, I signed somebody and they want the business, okay, wherever they are, and I'm really wide in my team. I'm not very deep. Like we just signed my first level 8 over the weekend, and I'm like, a level 8, man. Wow, I don't even know what to do with that. But we get them on a 3-way call or a Zoom. And when we do that, we introduce ourselves, number 1. Number 2, it's like, what are your goals? And the minute they say, you know what, I could use an extra, you know, couple $100. Awesome. So you're looking for the business. Have you made your first Plexus post? Crickets on the other end because the answer is usually no. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to make it for you and I'm going to tag you. Is that okay with you? Yeah. Because they're not going to tell you no. Okay. So either A, let them make their post, either tell them, hey, we want the post out there before the end of the night and tag me so that I can go comment on it. Because if they don't tag you, you don't know they did it. Okay. And if they're like, oh, I don't know. I'm like, you know what? I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Okay. You know what? I've got a real generic one. I'm just going to make it for you and introduce you out to Facebook land that you joined Plexus. And I'm not even going to say, oh, I want to lose weight or I'm looking for this. I just say, hey, I joined Plexus Health and Wellness Company, and I would love to have you support me on this journey. Is it okay if I just tag you in that kind of post? Yeah, awesome, making it happen. Bam, you got it on Facebook. So that's the first thing you have to do is let their friends know that that's what they're doing. Mm-hmm. You know, and then we talk through what does their fishing pond look like. I grew up out in the country, so you can go fishing, and you can either go fish in a little pond or a big pond. Well, who wants to fish in a little pond? Not me. I'm going to spend my time fishing. I want a big pond. Well, how does that relate to Facebook friends? How many do you have? And I can tell you in my experience, if you don't have 500 friends, you're going to struggle. And guys, don't go friend Plexus people. They don't help you, okay? They don't. Go friend people who aren't in Plexus. Otherwise, your news feed's all full of Plexus people. So your pond, your friends have to be over 500. So knowing I'm going to be on a call with them, I've already stalked them to see how many friends they have. So we talk about you need to go add some friends. Because, hey, you're at like 400. Awesome. Like the girl we signed last night, she has 1,800 friends. I'm like, yes. Okay, so she's fishing out of a huge pond. So we talk about that. Okay, so introduce goals. How many friends do they have? I'm trying to think, what's the next one? Look, brain blip. We ask them what they ordered because whether they're, you know, if they want the business, number 1, we want to make sure they're taking the products the right way. And we all know that you cover it when they order, you cover it when they got their stuff in, and they're still taking 4 probiotic and they feel bad, right? We all know that's the reality. So on the call, we're like, okay, so tell me how you're going to take your products so that they regurgitate to me what they have in their brain. We go over team resources. So that we've got a team call, we've got a Facebook page, things that they have that we've put together to help them grow their business. And we tell them, like we're in a 3-way chat, and that's how we scheduled this call tonight. Put us in a 3-way chat with any potentials you have, because you're new, you're not going to know everything. Put us in a 3-way chat to help you to get your first customer and to get your business rolling, because we want to do that for you. And they're like, oh, okay, that's awesome. Yeah. So that's how we get new ones. And we also have a Facebook group just for new ambassadors. And it's like 10 posts. And when we add a new one that wants the business, not everybody, okay? When they want the business, we tag them in post 1 and tell them, hey, when you're finished, then go to post 2, then go to post 3. And it kind of just stair steps them through kind of what I just talked about too. But they see it actually in print in Facebook in a little group.
Yeah. Well, that is awesome. Yeah. I mean, and like you said, it's not that like you hear new things that people do, but sometimes hearing a new perspective on it. And yeah, there's things you say and I'm like, oh, we haven't done that in a while. So yeah. It's the refresher. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Last question, I promise. Cause we try to keep it to 30 minutes, but okay. What's the number one way that you yourself outside of your power partner stay motivated? Like, how do you stay focused?
So I know, I'm like, I listen to different videos, and usually it's not something that I came across. Usually it's something that somebody sent me and said, hey, Vicki, have you seen this yet? I'm like, nope, and I'll watch it. And, listening to different videos that people have made, whether they're 3 minutes, if they're longer than like 20, I'm out. My attention's, number one, I have 5 kids. Okay. So I have 11 and almost 8, a 5, a 3, and a 2. So my 3 and 2-year-old are like, mama, mama, mama. So if the video is more than 20 minutes, I'm out. I'm not going to listen to it. And I tell my team that don't make these long videos, or people aren't going to listen to them. But videos that people send me and say, hey, have you listened to it? Nope. And I'll go watch it. And I'm like, oh, that was good. And it just gets me all excited.
Yeah. Okay. I love that. That's the same for me. I try to listen, either going to the grocery store or folding laundry, or, one a day. Listen to one a day, because it keeps you going.
When you're doing dishes and laundry, you should have a video on, because you've got Wi-Fi at your house, so it's free data. What's wrong with you? Get on a video.
Well, thank you so much. I'm so glad you got on here, girl. You have so much wisdom, although I know you probably don't see that yourself, but you do. I love it. And I'm so thankful that you got on here. So.
Okay, I have to sign off with you guys like I sign off on my team page, because it's going to make you giggle and laugh, okay? First of all, I'm praying for you, because we pray for all our business every night, right? I always say, have a peaceful day. I always say, I love you. And then I say, don't forget to poop.
Funny. Oh my gosh. Only Plexus people would understand this conversation.
That's it. Y'all have a good one.